Hi, welcome to part 1 of my review featuring the Dread Thingonomicon. This is a massive tome, 480 pages, a colossal collection of many things that you can add to your adventures and campaigns. But before we continue, I would like to talk about this channel's sponsor, Heroes and Hardships. This is a universal RPG system, allowing you to play any sort of genre, story, campaign. You can create any sort of character imaginable. You have hundreds of tools to accomplish that. I'm going to put a few links in the description that will take you to the Kickstarter that should begin this October 4th. You are also going to find links to the website, to the Tetsubo section of the website. Tetsubo is an upcoming setting based on Japan's Sengoku era. You're also going to find links to the Discord, to my reviews of the Quickstart guide, the Wallace campaign setting based on the life and exploits of William Wallace, and my ongoing review of the early access version of the core rulebook. So please check it out. Now let's continue. Let's talk about the quality of the Dread Thingonomicon. The quality is excellent. The document is fully bookmarked and hyperlinked. It's very easy to navigate your way through these 480 pages. The illustrations are amazing. They are old school, beautiful black and white illustrations. The graphic design and layout is quite classical, somewhat simple when compared to other more baroque designs. And the font is pretty easy on your eyes. The organization is great. The document is well written and explained, so overall the quality is top notch. Now let's take a look at the contents. This book is the work of several authors. There are so many tables for everything. I know that many of you are already familiar with Raging Swan Press. The publisher of this book has been producing so many good things when it comes to generating random content for any sort of adventure or campaign. They have so many tables covering dressings for wilderness environments, adventure sites. There are also some system-specific material, but most of their creative endeavors focus on a more general or universal approach. That is, you can use their material with any sort of role-playing game. They are quite system-neutral in that regard. So when it comes to this book, you have tables to determine all sorts of details concerning undead, alchemist laboratories, different archives, libraries. You can determine different non-player characters of various professions. You can randomly determine or generate all sorts of details concerning dark caverns, different dragon lairs, events, encounters, chases, wondrous items. There's just so much, to the point that you are going to find plenty of things for your adventures and campaigns all the time. You even have a couple of pages organizing everything by subject, so that way it's going to be easier for you to pick and choose the different tables according to your adventuring needs. So this document is great to improvise things as a game master, or to plan things ahead if you want to take your time preparing your adventures or campaign several hours or days before the adventure. This is perfect for that. And of course, this also means that this document is excellent for solo role-playing games or co-op role-playing games without a game master, using it in combination with your oracles and your game master emulators to create all sorts of things according to encounters, different sections of the adventure, different background details concerning the story, etc. And with this review series, I plan to give you examples of many of the different sections within this book. We start with abnormal low-level undead. First we have ghouls. Ghouls and their more powerful brethren, ghasts, are rightly feared by adventurers for their paralyzing touch and disease-ridden fangs. All of these different undead types come with their own physical description results, battle tactics, and treasure. For example, in the case of ghouls, maybe you want to determine some physical things about them, and you obtain the result of: this foul beast wears blood spattered once fine clothes. Or maybe the creature clutches the shard of a jagged sword in its right hand and licks the weapon's splintered blade as it stalks forward. Then we have mummies. Undead creatures raised to guard the ancient tombs of the honored dead. Mummies are ever vigilant for interlopers into their domain of death and dust. When it comes to battle tactics of the mummies, maybe you obtain the result of: if the mummy knocks a foe unconscious, it spends several rounds battering its helpless enemy to death. Or maybe you obtain the result of: the mummy was a tomb robber. It sneaks about trying to attack with surprise, preferably from behind. Then we have skeletons. Animated by a foul necromancer's unholy spells, skeletons are implacable, low-level foes. Packs of unfeeling, mindless skeletons can destroy even large groups of adventurers. Maybe you want to determine the treasure that these skeletons guard or carry in their bony structures. For example, maybe you get the result of: worn gold coins of ancient design are firmly wedged into the skeleton's eye sockets. Or maybe the skeleton holds a key within its skull. Then we have wights. Returned to unlife by their own malevolence or perhaps a horrific, violent death, wights are easily recognizable to those who knew them in life. Their deadly touch saps living creatures' life force. Maybe you obtain the physical description result of: still clad in ripped and torn furs. This creature had its throat ripped out before it died. Or maybe this creature's face is locked into a horrible grimace of fear and revulsion. And then we have zombies. Brainless, animated corpses. Zombies are slow, tough, and difficult to kill. They unfeelingly follow their master's orders. Maybe you obtain the battle tactics result of: this zombie tries to grapple opponents instead of beating them to death. If successful, it begins biting. Or maybe you obtain the result of: this zombie has a shield strapped to its arm. Thus, its armor class is slightly better than its brethren. And these are just some of the many results that you can obtain just concerning undead. This concludes this part of the review. In the next part, we are going to take a look at different things that you could find in an alchemist's laboratory, or perhaps inside of an ancient necropolis, and many other things. We have only just begun. As you can see, these results are quite rich when it comes to the background story, the details, the reasons as to why certain creatures act or look like that. However, there are some potential mechanical benefits that you can fit into any story. For example, the key inside of the skeleton's skull. Maybe you can use that to perhaps open a door that leads to an optional section of the dungeon. Or maybe it's related to a main plotline. Or in the case of the physical aspect of any of these undead creatures, maybe they reveal something about the past of an ancient civilization. Or if they are not that old, they could give you some clues as to who killed that undead creature when it was actually alive. So you can play around with all of these details to further enhance or boost the flavor of your story, of your adventure. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.